Olivia de Havilland, a two-time Oscar winner and for decades the last surviving star of Gone with the Wind, has died at the age of 104, her publicist Lisa Goldberg told CNN. The actress died Sunday of natural causes at a residence in Paris, Goldberg said. She lived in Paris for more than 6 decades. De Havilland emerged as a star during the classic movie era, first as a romantic partner for Errol Flynn in swashbucklers such as Captain Blood and The Adventures of Robin Hood, and then as Melanie Hamilton Wilkes in Gone with the Wind, 1939, considered the top money-making film of all time. When adjusted for inflation. By the late 1940s, she had become one of the screen's top actresses. But her off-screen role in a lawsuit against her employer, Warner Bros., may have been her most notable achievement in Hollywood. In 1943, de Havilland sued the studio after it attempted to extend her 7-year contract, which was expiring. Under the studio system, actors faced suspension without pay if they turned down roles, and the suspension time was added to their contracts. De Havilland's eventual court victory helped shift the power from the big studios of that era to the mega-celebrities and powerful talent agencies of today. Hollywood actors will be forever in Olivia's debt, de Havilland's friend and frequent co-star Bette Davis wrote in her autobiography, The Lonely Life. De Havilland later recalled how rewarding the ruling was for her. "I was very proud of that decision, for it corrected a serious abuse of the contract system, forced extension of a contract beyond its legal term." Among those who benefited by the decision were the actors who fought in World War II and who, throughout that conflict, were on suspension, the actress told the Screen Actors Guild in a 1994 interview. In recent years, Jared Leto credited the so-called de Havilland Law for helping his band, 30 Seconds to Mars, in a contract dispute with its record label. About 3/4 of a century after that landmark ruling, de Havilland lost a lawsuit she brought against the makers of the 2017 FX Network's miniseries, Feud, Bette and Joan. The U.S. Supreme Court declined to review the case after the centenarian failed to convince a California appellate court that the filmmakers had depicted her in a false light and should have gotten her permission to be portrayed in the drama. More importantly for de Havilland, she gained freedom to pursue better roles in award-winning films such as To Each His Own, 1946, The Snake Pit, 1948, and The Heiress, 1949. Her first Oscar win, for To Each His Own, also brought into the spotlight an often strained relationship with her famous younger sister, Joan Fontaine. At the 1947 ceremony, Fontaine tried to congratulate her sibling backstage, but de Havilland brushed her aside, reportedly telling her press agent, "I don't know why she does that when she knows how I feel." Shakespeare, then Swashbucklers. Olivia married de Havilland, was born July 1, 1916, in Tokyo to British parents. Both Olivia and Joan were often ill as children, and their mother decided to return to England for treatment. A stopover in San Francisco led the trio to settle in Saratoga, California. Eventually the girls' parents divorced and their mother remarried. De Havilland caught the acting bug in a school production of Alice in Wonderland. Her dedication to the craft led her to defy her stepfather's warning against appearing in plays and to leave home early before graduating from high school. She got her first professional break as an understudy for Gloria Stewart, later the elderly Rose in Titanic, in Max Reinhardt's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. After Stewart bowed out, de Havilland won the role of Hermia and made her stage debut in Shakespeare. The Hollywood Bowl appearance led to a contract with Warner Bros. And the 1935 film version of the play. But another 1935 movie made her a star at age 19, ensuring her immortality as part of a great screen team. Captain Blood was the first of 8 films pairing de Havilland with Errol Flynn. When Margaret Mitchell's Gone with the Wind became a huge bestseller in the late 30s, every actress seemed to be vying for the role of Scarlett O'Hara, the selfish, headstrong heroine. But not de Havilland. She had her eyes on Melanie, Scarlett's sweet and sympathetic sister-in-law. Returning to Warner Bros. After Gone with the Wind was not easy. De Havilland discovered she would have a supporting role in a film with Flynn. Bette Davis was the leading lady in The Private Lives of Elizabeth and Essex, with de Havilland reduced to the Queen's Lady-in-Waiting. Good roles for actresses were hard to come by at the studio known for its tough, masculine image, and Davis ruled the roost as its lone major female star. De Havilland began to defy Warner Bros., rejecting parts in films she didn't like and taking suspensions. In one bright spot, she scored a Best Actress nomination for Another Loan Out Deal, Hold Back the Dawn, 1941, as a spinsterish schoolteacher who falls for European refugee Charles Boyer as he's struggling to enter the United States. She lost again, this time to her sister, Fontaine, who won for Suspicion, 1941. De Havilland was ready to move on when her contract expired. However, Warner Bros. Had other ideas, tacking on 25 weeks from her suspensions to the contract. She decided to take legal action, a risky move that would keep her off the screen for nearly 3 years. If she lost the lawsuit, her Hollywood career might be over. "I really had no choice but to fight," the actress recalled to the Los Angeles Times in 2006. The California Court of Appeal for the 2nd District upheld a lower court ruling in de Havilland's favor, finding that a personal service contract was limited to a calendar year of 7 years. Studio chief Warner admitted in his autobiography that de Havilland had licked him. He noted his one-time star had a brain like a computer concealed behind those fawn-like brown eyes. De Havilland now was able to plot her career. Within 3 years, she had won 2 Academy Awards. She displayed a new versatility into each his own, moving in flashbacks from a young unwed mother who loses her son to a middle-aged businesswoman. The Dark Mirror, also from 1946, showcased de Havilland in dual roles as identical twins, one good and the other a disturbed killer. But she really came into her own as an actress with The Snake Pit and The Heiress. The former, a look at a woman who spirals into mental illness, appears dated today, but critics in 1948 praised the movie, an actress for tackling such a serious subject. De Havilland reached the peak of her career in William Wyler's The Heiress as Catherine Sloper, a plain, awkward girl courted by a fortune hunter for her inheritance. She becomes an embittered woman who turns the tables on a cold, unloving father, Ralph Richardson, and her suitor, Montgomery Clift. This adaptation of a play based on Henry James Washington's Square won de Havilland her 2nd Oscar for Best Actress. De Havilland's screen career inevitably began to cool in the 1950s and 60s, although she still had memorable roles in My Cousin Rachel, 1952, and Light in the Piazza, 1962. She teamed up with Davis in Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte, 1964, a follow-up to Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, 1962. In a surprise twist, de Havilland had the villainous role. She also appeared on Broadway in Romeo and Juliet, Candida and A Gift of Time with Henry Fonda. In the 70s and 80s, she took supporting roles in disaster movies such as Airport 77, 1977, and The Swarm, 1978, and on television in Roots, The Next Generations, the 1979 sequel to the landmark miniseries. She received an Emmy nomination for Best Supporting Actress in a miniseries or special for one of her final roles, Anastasia, The Mystery of Anna, 1986. She retired from acting in the late 80s but continued to make public appearances and receive honors for her long career, including the National Medal of Arts in 2008 for her lifetime achievements and contributions to American culture as an actress and France's Legion of Honor in 2010. In June 2017, Britain's Queen Elizabeth II made de Havilland a Dame for services to drama, 2 weeks shy of her 101st birthday. The star was known for dating many notable bachelors in her Hollywood heyday, including Howard Hughes, James Stewart and director John Huston. She was married and divorced twice, first to writer Marcus Goodrich and then Paris Match editor Pierre Galante. Her son, Benjamin Goodrich, died in 1991 from complications of Hodgkin lymphoma. Daughter Giselle Galante is a journalist. News accounts often reported the actress was working on a long-awaited autobiography, but nothing appeared during her lifetime. She did write a 1962 memoir about her life in France, called Every Frenchman Has One. De Havilland survived virtually all of her contemporaries from the movie's golden age, even writing a tribute to the younger Mickey Rooney for Time when he passed away in April 2014. Ironically, the sickly Melanie died near the end of Gone with the Wind, yet the actress who played her long-outlived co-stars Clark Gable, Vivian Leigh, Leslie Howard and McDaniel. Asked 2 decades ago to explain her longevity, this Steel Magnolia told a Screen Actors Guild interviewer, "I don't understand the question, I'm only 78 years old."